going on, everyone? It's Jacqueline here from NothingButTech. I hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're talking about the iPhone 11 Pro and more specifically, night mode on the iPhone 11 Pro. So the iPhone 11 Pro came out today when I'm recording this. It's been a long day of just getting a lot of content, but I'm glad to finally be sitting down and filming it. So in today's video, I kind of just want to show you what low light mode looks like on the iPhone 11 Pro. It's a brand new feature for this phone. It's been on the Note 10 Plus and the Pixel 3a, the two other contenders in this video, for a while. So I want to compare the three. And I think that low light and night stuff is really good in showing how good a camera actually is. Because when you throw a lot of light at a phone and you put a camera really into like an ideal scenario, the pictures are normally pretty good, but if you can put it into like the worst possible scenario, that's when you really see what it looks like. And I also want to note here that I think all of these cameras are pretty phenomenal, and I would be happy taking my photos on any of the three. So that's a little note, but let's just dive into the first image, looking to my left to give you a live analysis. And this first one was taken without any night mode on, just in regular portrait mode to get like a baseline of what the cameras do without night mode. And by far my favorite in this first set of images is the Pixel 3a. I think it's the most pleasing to look at in terms of just color and brightness. And I also think that it did really well with edge detection, which is impressive because there's only one camera. We have more cameras on both the Note 10 Plus and the iPhone 11 Pro. The iPhone 11 Pro is by far really the worst image in this set, in my opinion, which is interesting because that's going to kind of turn around for it very shortly. But in this particular image, it struggles a lot with grain. And if you look at my face, if you zoom in, there's definitely a lot more noticeable grain on the iPhone 11 Pro image in comparison to the other two. The Note 10 Plus really softened my skin a lot. When Samsung is given an opportunity to make you look better and like smooth out your skin, they always take that opportunity, and there's definitely a ton of softness present here, but I think that it's a little bit more pleasing to look at than the straight up grain on my face. So that's the baseline, no night mode on, and then we're going to transition to a night mode shot of this corner, which has like just brick, and it was kind of away from the sunlight, and they all did pretty well. So it takes a phone to say, hey, I think you could benefit from using this night mode and turning it on, and then picking how many seconds would be ideal, and then you can play with that. But I think that it's kind of nice to have the ability to turn it on, even when the phone doesn't think that you should. So I would like that in a software update like the Note 10 Plus and the Pixel 3a have. But in terms of this actual picture, the biggest difference is sharpness and color tone. The Pixel 3a went way too far to the blue side, in my opinion. That's not what it looked like. And the Note 10 Plus, especially on the left side, went way too far to the yellow tones. Also not what this brick wall looked like. The iPhone 11 Pro kind of meets in the middle. It's a little bit green in certain areas, but I think it's the most realistic out of the three. In terms of sharpness, the Pixel 3a adds so much contrast and sharp to their images that initially it's the one that pops out at you, but then if you look for closer detail a lot of the time, you'll find it on the iPhone 11 Pro over the Pixel 3a. But all of these actually do have pretty decent sharpness. The Note 10 Plus, though, is by far the softest. Pretty good out of the gate pictures that we're getting here. When we move to the next one, I took this one while actually just like looking around to see what a cool shot would be. I noticed that the iPhone 11 Pro was having trouble handling the street light, so I decided just to snap that shot. And you can see that there's kind of a halo effect around the light on the iPhone 11 Pro. The Pixel 3a did not do that, but it kind of just darkened the sky. It made it a little bit black. And the Note 10 Plus, I'm assuming because the shutter was slow, made the image kind of blurry, so it looks like there's double text, especially on the top W. It's not nearly as sharp as on the iPhone 11 Pro and the Pixel 3a. I think that the iPhone 11 Pro, even though it had that halo effect of the light, is my favorite in terms of sharpness. The Pixel 3a kind of like crushed the blacks in the sky to a weird level, and it's also the most contrasty here. The fourth image is kind of where the iPhone 11 Pro is going to get to shine for like the first time in a really big way, and that's just in terms of detail. When you zoom in on the ground, there's just so much more detail on the grades on the iPhone 11 Pro in comparison to both phones, actually. You can see a lot more going on. It doesn't feel as doled out. And this one had some of a street light coming in, and they also handled that pretty well. I think, again, the iPhone 11 Pro shows the most realistic colors, and I find that a lot, that it's the most realistic portrayal of colors. The next test is one that's going to be hard for the phone to handle because I'm shooting into a restaurant, but then I have the lower light situation of being on the street shooting the shot. I think that by far my favorite image here is the Pixel 3a. The contrast actually did a good job here in illuminating the name of the restaurant and being able to see in through the windows. They're all pretty decent, but I think the Pixel 3a, in my personal opinion, is my favorite here. If you have a different opinion, let me know nicely in the comments below. Let's keep them good, but I would love to hear your thoughts. The next image is one of a meter, and this image is also interesting because I shot it in front of a white car, and I did that because I thought that the phones may have some trouble exposing both the car and the meter. I think that they all actually did a pretty good job exposing the car and the meter. I did my best to take all of these at the same angle, and I didn't succeed totally in this one, so take this image a little bit more with a grain of salt because a little bit of a different perspective can radically change an image. So I did my best. I used grids and I held my hands in a steady manner, but they're slightly different, and I think that that slight difference makes it so I can't really accurately evaluate this image. If I was going to attempt to do that, I would say that the iPhone 11 Pro is the best in terms of preserving the detail in the lit up sign in the back, but I don't know if that's because it's the best or because the angle is different. So that's up to you. So that's going to be something that I'm going to try to retest again, but I think that if it does hold true, then it does keep the best detail in the background in this image. And they did all do a really good job with not crushing the blacks of the meter that much. I think that the iPhone 11 Pro and the Note 10 Plus are pretty neck and neck in terms of preserving the detail in this image. So this last image is of me, and I think that what's really interesting here is that they all look pretty good from afar, but when you really zoom in, you can kind of uncover details. So the Note 10 Plus is way too grainy around my face, and the iPhone 11 Pro is also a little bit soft. There's some graininess there. The Pixel 3a is by far the best image in this sample. The skin tone looks really, really nice, and even when you look down at my foot, there's a certain sharpness there that is just not seen on either the iPhone 11 Pro or the Note 10 Plus. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting one. From afar, they look pretty similar, but the Pixel 3a is the best image out of these three, in my opinion. I would love to know, though, what you think in a comment below. I'm also going to be working on a lot more camera comparisons, including a lot in daylight, normal conditions. So if you want to see that, hit the subscribe button right here. Check another video right here, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.